Hi there, happy Tuesday. So, we're continuing on with what's turning into a series on relationships. And today we're going to talk about how we can get rid of the dreaded, hearing those four dreaded words of we need to talk, right? Oftentimes, there's a thing around that. There's a thing around hearing, we need to talk. We have something to talk about. We need to sit down. It's like, ooh, you might even just, even though you could tell I'm not actually talking to you, you might be feeling that. It happens for some people when they hear that, right? And it could be professional, it could be, like personal, you could be with your partner or somebody like that. Whatever it is, just that we need to talk. And so here's how to avoid having to hear those words and having to feel that and all of the things that go along with it. And so that is, if you're always having the talk, you never need to have the talk, right? And so this goes for, relationship stuff. It goes for like, stuff with your kids, like the sex talk with your kids and with all those things, right? Like that whole idea of having that one talk explaining all of sex to your kids, right? And it's like this, and then, we all know that parents never do it great, especially when it's just that one, you feel like you have to get it all in. This is this one conversation and it's super important. And the kid's not paying attention because it's just super annoying and embarrassing. The parents are all flustered and everything else. But again, if you're constantly having that conversation, like, from birth on up, if you're always having the talk, if it's always infused into your relationship, then you never have to have it. You never have to have that one moment. You're constantly just chipping away, normalizing it, making the atmosphere where you can easily talk about that. This is also true for, relationship stuff. Like, oh, we have to talk. This thing has been bothering me. If we're always in a mode of in conversation, then we don't have to worry about that big, difficult conversation, that big finding the right time, finding the right mood, finding the right place, and how long it's going to take, and what are my talking points, and all the stress that comes along with having these big talks. Noting that, like, if we're always having the talk, we never have to have the talk, right? And so how do we do that? We make space for it consistently, daily, if possible. Just make space for those relationships. Have the type of relationship and the type of day fold into the day. A good 20 minutes, half hour, whatever it is, of just time with each other without, screens, without watching TV, without anything else. Just space to have these conversations, and make sure you take advantage of that space and have the little bits of these conversations during that time every day. If it's every day and it's just chipping away and it's one little piece of information every once in a while, again, it's just one big, long, lovely, connected conversation versus that, right? So how do you do that? Things like just having dinner together at the table without any screens, right? Or have that time to ease in or out of sleep. Have that little snuggle time or that time of talking right before bed or while waking up. Or just find little pockets of time. Consistency is great, because then again, it doesn't feel like something purposeful. It's just folded into the day. And my goodness, isn't that just a great thing to have anyway, is making sure that we're having some focus on the relationships that mean something to us on a daily basis. We give so much time to our work and our businesses and our, like other people, taking care of other people outside of our own home, outside of our closest friends, outside of our, closest coworkers, maybe. Like, let's make sure that we're making space for the relationships that are important inside and outside of work. This goes the same for, needing big conversations with your team. Again, if you're consistently having that space for people to be open and share and be on top of things as they're coming up, then there is no need for a big conversation. Let me know what you think. Again, we're talking about making space. No, this doesn't feel super efficient. No, this doesn't feel like, very, like, Nance, my days are totally full. I can't possibly find another half an hour. And notice where you're spending your half hours and where the importance is when it comes to establishing these relationships, maintaining these relationships in order to be able to hold on to these relationships without things bubbling underneath the surface. So as always, let me know what you think. Share, like, do all the things that I'm supposed to be telling you to do. But also, let me know if there's a topic that you want to know about, and I will gladly share it. Have a great week. I'll see you next Tuesday.